Hey, this is Chris with Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. What's one thing that can ruin a camping trip? Weather, forgetting stuff, bad coffee. We're going to start a little series on see which one of these coffee makers work the best for while you're hiking those long hikes. Stick with it. I think you'll get a kick out of this one. Remember, click like and subscribe. Remember, I do it so you don't have to. Ugly.Teacher.Hiking. I hike it so you don't have to. So here's all we got for the battle. We got number 2 coffee filters. I'll explain that in a moment. We got our tea kettle. We got our 2 Nalgene bottles of water. We got our Stanley cook set. If you do not have one of these, this is one of the things you should buy. Whether you're new or been doing it for years, this is a great little cook set. I'll explain more on that in a couple minutes. We got our fuel. We got our Boundless Voyage titanium alcohol stove. We got our coffee, which is a breakfast blend from a local food store. We got our Zen Camps stand for one of the alcohol stoves. We're probably going to need 2 alcohol stoves to boil enough water. I got my little iClimb table. You guys know I love that. We got our lighter, which is a butane lighter. And then we have our coffee. These are the 2 things we're battling against today. Let's start off with this one. You've seen me use this in several videos. This is the Primula Brew Buddy. I think I even did a review on early on. But this is a great little coffee maker or coffee filter. For one of them, it's $7.89. For 2 of them, you can buy them for $9.99. If you don't have one of these, I would definitely check them out. We'll talk about issues and problems with these in a moment. And then the Challenger is a GSI Ultralight Java Drip. It's $10.95 on Amazon. These were both on Amazon, and I think that $10.95 was this on REI's website. I think REI $10.95. Well worth the money. As we could see, the mesh looks like probably made in the same company, same warehouse. Yeah, they look and feel the same. Very fine mesh. Now the problem with both of these, the mesh is too fine. Or not fine enough. What would that be? The water just goes through it, okay? The water just goes right through it. That is the reason for the number 2 coffee filters. So we're going to use the number 2 coffee filters. They fit in both of them perfectly, and hopefully that will create a better cup of coffee. And then we'll see which one we're going to be using on camping trips. This one I've used quite a bit. It's awesome. It's flat. It's rigid. I can use it pretty much on any coffee cup. Same with this one. Very flat, very flexible. I'm not worried about it if it gets a little warped in my backpack. So I'm going to need the coffee filters for both of these, and I'm going to need the coffee for both of them. So what we have to do is we got to figure out which one works the best for us. First thing we got to do is set everything up. So we're going to start off with the iClimb table. I know you guys love to watch me struggle with this, and I think I'm getting a little better at it as time goes on. Little reminders, make certain the hooks are next to each other when you're dealing with this. So all we have to do is get that in there, get that in there. Let's see if we can do this. Wow, okay. That was just luck of the draw, I think. All right, let's get the other side now. Find it's easier to do that. Get in there like that. Worked out pretty good, only dropped it once. Filming makes everything a little more difficult. So now I'm going to take the Boundless Voyage alcohol stove. I was going to use 2 stoves. I think I've changed my mind midstream. We're just going to fill up the kettle a little more, and we're going to put a little more fuel in this. Put that in the middle. Probably going to regret not having a screen, a windscreen, but we'll see. When I started doing this, the wind was nowhere to be found. Now all of a sudden it's here. So you gotta love this when filming goes wrong. We have 16 ounces of water in the kettle right now. As you can tell from the Nalgene bottle, it's down to just above 16. It was a little more than 32 ounces. We got a full thing of fuel in the Boundless Voyage alcohol stove. I'm gonna plop that on there. We're just gonna let that go. We're gonna let that go. So while the water is boiling, we're gonna set up our coffee. Now this is why I was saying the Stanley Cook set is so awesome. This is the old original Stanley Cook set. I use this on several hiking trips, camping trips. Look like it's never even been used. The great thing about this, nesting inside, got these cups. I want to make this as standard as possible, so these cups are perfect. Now, you're not going to take the Stanley on any ultralight trips, but trips all the same are well worth it to have this. All right, our water's still going. Here's our coffee filters. We got number 2 coffee filters. We got the Brew Buddy, and we got the ultralight Java Drip. Very easy, you just clamp them to the sides of the cup. Like that. That one goes in like that. So we're going to take our filters. We're not modifying the filters in any way. These are the blunt filters. Now I found if you follow the seam of the actual Java Drip, it works well. And the Brew Buddy, same thing. Follow the seam. And also if you fold this over a little, kind of helps. This one is a little tighter squeeze. Maybe it could have gotten a different size coffee filter. I think they have, the size 1 is a little smaller. Could have done that. Little baby water bottles. We're going to take this. And we just so happen to have a coffee spoon. It's for shoveling coffee grounds. One. One. And we're going to do a half. About a half. About a half. That one was a little shy, so we're going to use, we want to keep it as legit as possible. There we go. These baby water bottles were awesome. I did a whole episode on those early on too. So we are all ready for the coffee. We're just waiting for the water to boil at this point. So the water is boiling, and we're going to start off by pouring it into the GSI. It gives you a great pour. You just got to make sure you get the edges. Make sure you take your time, pay attention to what you're doing. That's the main thing when you're dealing with this type of coffee filter. You got to give it time to settle. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. So once we get enough water in here, or enough to allow it to filter through, we're going to go over to the other one, the Brew Buddy, and see how that works. So with the Brew Buddy, it's a little easier because it acts almost like a filtered tea bag on that. So when we do this, we just got to pour it in. Just take our time like the other one. Just pay attention. The whole thing with these coffee filters, makers, slow. Ooh, they smell good. They still went pretty quick. The whole thing is I'm trying to get it off the sides of the filter. Okay, the rest of the water probably has to go into this one. Ferocious little attack dog here going after a squirrel. See, with this one, it kind of goes into the coffee. That one's above the coffee. As we can see, they're about the same. And I'm sure you guys are noticing the issues, like with this one on my right, the Brew Buddy. You gotta hold it up if you don't want it resting in your coffee cup. Okay, let's pour a little extra in here. And the good thing about these filters, I hate using disposable stuff, but they're biodegradable and cleanup is a heck of a lot easier than not having them. If you just use your regular filter, you have to find a way to dispose of. Now with this, keep in mind, you take it in, you take it out. You hike it in, you hike it out. If you're gonna go hardcore camping out, just use this. Just use this. Don't use the regular water, the filters here. And then take a little garbage bag and just throw the insides out. It might make life a little easier. Okay, I think we got a little more water here. Got a little more water in here. See, the good thing about the GSI one, I could pour it in, give it a couple minutes, it'll seep through. This one, if I don't have a huge cup, I'm gonna have to hold it like this. Or if I want it resting in the water, it's fine. If I were to use tea with this, which you can for both of them, this one I'd rather use for tea, this one I wouldn't because it's above it. Trying to, there's like a little liquid in there, just trying to get it through. Now, like with all these, it's a pain in the neck to place it somewhere. I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. Now you got to watch out for both of them. I did melt one of these on using a butane burner. I guess the flames got up a little too high. Just take the coffee out of this. Plop that there. Portability on this one is real easy. There we go. And we're going to take the spoon handle, just stir it up a little. Stir it up a little, and we're going to see which one made the best cup of coffee. Keep in mind, guys, this is all subjective. Both of these are great little coffee filters. They're great. I've used both of them on many trips. They're great. This one's definitely a lot lighter. This one has a little rigidity to it, so you have to decide which one works best for you. Either way, I suggest if you do use these, you have to use coffee filters. Number 2 coffee filter seems to fit the best with them, okay? Number 2. All right, let's give it a try. Final thoughts. All right, final thoughts. You can't go wrong with either one of these, but let's give them a try. One problem with this one, you have to take it out. You can't leave that sitting in there. It's like a big old tea bag. Let's give it a try. It's like 100 times better with the filter in it. It's 100 times better. It's good. It tastes like how coffee should taste. The stuff I keep getting at the beach tastes like it wasn't good. So the filter slows it down just enough. It's good. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Ooh, I was not expecting that. This one tastes a little more watered down. I was not expecting that. The way things were going, I thought definitely this one would not have been the good one. That's craziness. Yeah, that's definite. This one's more watered down. This one is not, maybe because it was resting in it too. We're gonna keep that in the back of the mind. So this one had a better flavor than this one. I was thinking this one would definitely have a better flavor. I wonder if we could do it more like that, because this is definitely easier to carry. Ooh. We're gonna have to experiment a little more. So, Brew Buddy, you seem to be the winner this time around. Brew Buddy's the winner. Guys, click like and subscribe. Remember, I do it so you don't have to. Either one of these are excellent. The taste is not that much different. If you're a total coffee snob, probably go for this one, but this one is not that far off. They're both great. So please click like and subscribe. Hey, you can't go wrong with either one. Hey, till the next adventure. Yeah, this one's so watered down. This one tastes really good. I don't know how that happened. I was not thinking that would be the result. Live and learn. Live and learn. Also, if you don't have one of these Stanley Cook sets, go get one. They're only like 20 bucks from REI, Amazon. They have a new one that's out. I'm going to do a review on it real soon.